Hey everyone, it's Warren here from Exposed 360. It's almost May 2018 here, and we haven't heard a single word about the 2018 version of the Samsung Key 360. So if it's even a thing, and I hope that it really is, here's my wish list of what needs to be included in the 2018 version of the Samsung Key 360. The original Samsung Key 360 was released late April in 2016, and the 2017 model was released in March 2017. So we're a little bit overdue for the 2018 model of the Samsung Key 360. However, there's very little information about the existence of a 2018 model. There are a few rumors about the design and logo and trademarks that have been registered, but there simply isn't any information or evidence about a 2018 model. Who knows, but maybe Samsung have given up on the 360 market, but I really hope not. The original Samsung Key 360 is still one of my favorite cameras, and is one of the pioneers of the true 360 camera. The Ricoh Theta was the first out, but the Samsung Key 360 really shifted the benchmark to the 4K video and still offered it at an affordable consumer price range. I know the GoPro Fusion is all the talk right now, but remember that it retails at $699 US. Whereas the Samsung Key 360, when it first came out, the retail price was only $399, and now, after a year on, you can get one for as little as $150 US. So really, the GoPro Fusion and the Samsung Key 360 is kind of in a different consumer market. The Key 360 direct competitors is more the Xiaomi Mi Sphere, the Insta360 ONE, and the Theta Phi. And since the 360 hardware is a year on now, it's definitely got some catching up to do to those cameras. So if I can't find any information about the 2018 version of the Key 360, I might as well throw my wish list out there. But technically, I suppose this wish list can apply to the next 360 camera at a consumer price range that I really want to see available in the market and I really want to get my hands on. The Samsung Key 360 was one of the first consumer level 360 camera to feature 4K videos, but I'm hoping that they'll step it up to the 5.2K or even the 6K territory and leap over the competition again in this consumer 360 camera market. As mentioned, the Fusion is already at this video resolution, but the Fusion is really more in the prosumer price range. I hope the 2018 Samsung Key 360 will be the first consumer price 360 camera to reach this video resolution. The 6-axis gyro stabilization is something that is a must-have in the next iteration of the Samsung Key 360. This is definitely something that is lacking in this camera compared to all the competitors on the market right now. There are some amazing gyro-based stabilized 360 cameras on the market right now, and the 2018 Key 360 must at least match its direct competitors, and it will be great to see the Key 360 go up a level and match the standards set by the GoPro Fusion and the Rilo. The Key 360 isn't bad at this, but it needs to improve again to match its competitors. Normally, the smaller the distance between the two cameras, the easier it is to manage the stitch line, as the two wide-angle lens coverage can overlap earlier and therefore giving a shallower angle at the stitch line. However, this isn't always true, as some of the newer cameras seem to have managed the stitch line pretty well, even though the camera is still quite chunky and quite thick. Ultimately, I don't really care how thick the camera is. I just want the new Samsung Key 360 to improve on the stitch line for both its photos and videos. Both the 2016 and the 2017 Samsung Key 360 have had focus issues, especially when the camera have been running for a little while and get a little bit heated and get a little bit hot. The overheating issue can be alleviated a little bit by using micro SD card in the camera that have faster write speed and by keeping the camera well ventilated. But it'll be good for the camera to be able to better manage its heat. There's nothing worse than spending time out taking photos and videos and for them to be ruined by unfocused footage. This is something Samsung really need to fix for the new version of the Samsung Key 360. One of the issues that I had with the Samsung Key 360, and the main reason why I don't use it as often as I do now that I've got the other 360 cameras, is that the lowest ISO setting on it is 400. It goes up to 1600 ISO, and it's good to have high ISO capability that can provide footages that is not too grainy and noisy. Well, in this case it is actually quite grainy and noisy, but hopefully that will improve. I really want a clean low ISO of 50 or 100 that give me the best quality for photos and videos. technically, I suppose I don't really care what the ISO is, as long as it can provide me with sharp, focused images and videos that are not too grainy, especially in low light. The original G360 images were actually really clean, and maybe it's due to the bigger lens size. So it might be nice to see a bigger lens and sensor in the 360 cameras. Shooting to RAW is a no-brainer, and it really must be in the next Samsung G360, as most of the other 360 cameras on the market already allow you to do this. A RAW image file gives you so much more flexibility and leeway with your photo editing. It really needs to be available in this next Samsung G360. This is again one of those things that I really want for all 360 cameras. If you have watched my channel before, you would know how much I'm really not a fan of the Nikon Key Mission 360. But yet there's one thing on this camera that I absolutely love, and I can't believe that no other 360 camera have provided a solution similar to this. And it is how they implemented the lens cover so that it's a protection to the lens itself, and it's also easily for you to replace and switch out if you do crack it. So even with a protection like this, obviously if the cameras drop hard enough and crack right through the cover, it will still do damages on the lens itself. But at least it's an extra protection that you could replace. And I have dropped a few 360 cameras in my time, and I have cracked and scratched quite a fair few of them already. So I really hope the next Samsung G360 will somehow give us the parts or provide us with a system like a Key Mission 360 where we can replace it really easily. I'm still looking for a 360 camera with the perfect mobile app accompanying to it. I don't quite understand why this has been so hard to do. Every 360 camera app that I've used is either missing functions, settings, or the user interface is not logical, or the options and features are hidden away and you can't get to it quickly. I have to say, the Samsung G360 app is actually quite good. It has live view, connection to multiple cameras, pretty quick and easy to connect if you are using a Samsung mobile. All I hope for the Samsung G360 2018 model is to improve on this app, give us a better user design, don't hide any features, don't make me work to find out where things are. It should be really right there. And in search for this ultimate mobile app for 360 cameras, it leads me to the final wish list that I want to check off for the new Samsung G360, and in fact really any 360 camera in general. What I really want is a camera that will give me full manual control of the capabilities and everything within the camera while I'm shooting my photos and videos. Give me full control of the shutter speed and ISO for both videos and photos. If it's possible, give me control of the aperture. I don't think there's any 360 camera that gives the user control over focus points yet, but I want it. I even want to be able to control the two cameras in sync and also independently to allow for some more creative shots. I know I'm not going to get full manual controls over my 360 cameras anytime soon, but I think the more manual controls that is given to the user, it really will start moving 360 cameras into a more professional camera kit. So that's it. That wasn't too much to ask, was it? So that's every single item on my wish list that I want to see in the new 2018 Samsung G360. But in fact, I think that wish list is pretty generalized, and it's just a wish list of all the things that I want to see in any new 360 cameras that are coming out to the market this year and in the future. If there's any camera coming out soon that will match that wish list, I'll be right on it and I'll purchase it straight away. The last thing and the most important thing I'd like to say is that the 360 camera have gone a long way in the last 2.5 years. We've seen the beginnings, and now it's starting to move in a really fast rate as there's a higher adoption of the camera. I'm still looking forward to getting 2018 Samsung G360 if it ever comes out, if it actually does exist. I do hope that it does. I had a lot of fun with all my Samsung gear, along with all my 360 gear. Let me know what you think about my wish list for 360 cameras. Are there any things that you disagree with? Are there anything else that you would like to see that I've left out? Pop me a message down below. Let me know what you think. Add a few more to that wish list. Hopefully someone might be watching and someone might be reading, and we'll add it to the next 360 camera that we're getting on the market. So thank you for watching, everyone. Please subscribe to my channel. More 360 content coming through, more 360 tutorials. Until then, it's Warren here from Overexposed 360, and I'll catch you on my next video.